What's up, guys? And this is the fifth vlog. I don't remember. I've lost count. Sorry, this is a little bit late. I had a thing I had to do today, and it went well, so that's cool. But I'd like to go ahead. We've got a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of stuff to show you. It's gonna be cool. And as you can see, the control tower is finished. I swapped out the copper blocks for these iron plates. Uh, Honestly, I didn't like the Duracell look. I felt like it was good, like the lower of the first wall, but then I realized if I made this whole thing out of it, it would kind of get a little bit grating on the eyes, I think. So I swapped it for this iron stuff, and I like it. It's pretty cheap to make. It's 8 ingots for 24 blocks, so it's not too bad. So I think, yeah, I like it a lot. And we're going to go up, and you can see I started adding some stuff, and these are a little bit of a... Oh, and some auto crafting stuff. I'll let you know about that too. Like I said, I've got a lot to show you. And then here's this part where this is off center. I know it is. I have to move it. It's like it'll take me like a minute. I'll do it eventually. I added more drives. I moved the drives. Uh, More auto crafting some nitro reactors. I got some fluid stuff for auto crafting. You know, chemical stuff for auto crafting and a bunch of items. It's very cool. You can come over here. I forgot to put a block there. That's fine. I'll fix that later. And then this is the highest level, and as you can see, I've got all these little nice control these little panels telling me all about the stuff that's in my base, like some important items, I think. So we've got ingots, alloys, various quartz. Oh, as you can see, I have no refined fuel. That's a problem. I'm gonna have to figure out. Uh, yeah. Okay, that's a problem. I'll have to figure that out. And see, there you go. That's what it's useful for. Um, yeah. All right, I got purple stuff too. That's a big thing. Is I completed the advanced mechanical lesson stuff, so that's on passive now and working. So I will go ahead and show you that now. First off, we'll go to fissile fuel. This is where I do a lot of this stuff and make the inactive ones. Uh, this is just regular stuff. I left room for a bunch of these chemical oxidizers because when I was doing mech chem before, they were the bottleneck, and I didn't want that to happen, so I have changed it. But it looks like they are also another bottleneck, so I have to upgrade them. Just fluorite dust, making the fluorite, and then making the yellow cake uranium. I'm gonna have to upgrade this stuff. I recently built a lot of mechanism reactor stuff, so yeah, that's going on. We have also up here the mechanism turbines. That teleporter isn't set up yet. We can go ahead and take a look at the refined fuel area. And this is just slow. I just need to upgrade these machines and then probably add more. But I plan to add a total of 32 of these fluid encapsulators because this recipe takes a 400,000 RF. So even at like, maximum upgrades, that's still a very long time. So I decided to add a bunch. And I think this is fine. Obviously, I need to increase a refined fuel production, but that won't be a problem. I just have to, again, throw some upgrades into these machines. Also, I'm going to go ahead and start flying around now. So let me, here we go. Cool, so I started adding some roofs and stuff to help. I think it might help improve performance if I start hiding some of the stuff, because the FPS is getting kind of bad, I'm not going to lie. The FPS is a little bit lower because, I am recording, so the FPS is slightly lower than it would be normally, but it's not great. But at least, Forge TPS. I'm still okay on TPS, which is the important part, so that's fine. Some slight auto crafting changes over here. I don't know if this was built in the last progress video, but it is built now. I added a bunch of more on-demand recipes and stuff. I don't need this many smelters, but the way I was building is like I'm never gonna build these things again for this pack. Like this is it. If anything needs to be smelted on demand, this should be enough. Just some more crafter blocks, some servo presses and induction things. Energizing orb. None of this stuff over here has really changed at all. So that's different. And then over here, in this room, I've added a bunch of stuff. I added some stuff to make blaze cakes, because you needed them for the one of the quests. And I didn't really feel like making them by hand, so I'm like, fuck it. I'll make basins. I'll just, do it on demand and then use them once. It'll be fine. Some bulk haunting for eggs, if I need eggs for stuff. I forget what I needed eggs for, but it was something, and now I don't need them because they're on demand. I set up singularities on demand right now. I'm gonna bring this out to a few more machines because these are very slow. One thing to note is you only need one ultimate catalyst in this thing. It's not consumed. So don't make a bunch like I did because you don't really use them for anything. And it's not like they're not like cheap or anything. They're not like crazy expensive, but they're not like, something you want to produce a lot of because it is some emeralds and stuff. I think it's, yeah. Anyway, so it's not really too much of a problem, but it is very slow. It's 5 million RF at 5,000 RF per tick to produce a singularity and 1,000 ingots. So the material cost isn't the problem, it's the time. And you don't need enough of them to really justify passiving them. You need like 20 tops. 20 ultimate singularities tops. So it's not really worth passiving. Again, just some other stuff for some on-demand. So I set up substrate on-demand, and then this ultimate injecting factory so I can make different types of concrete without having to, set up a new passive system for that. So, I have, let's take a look in here. I have green concrete, for example, because I don't need that on passive, but I do want that, to produce it. And then I have all 4 of these, and I have 1 recipe in here, and I overbuilt this. But I never wanted to do it again, so I never have to do it again. Okay. That part's done. As you can see, here's like the tower from the outside. It's kind of monolithic, so I'm not a huge fan of how it looks exterior. Like, I've kind of realized that the interior of the base I really like, but the exterior is kind of bad. So this was me kind of like sketching out like a new exterior, like a shell I'd build over the rest of the base. And I don't really know how much I like it. I'm not really sure where to go with this. I like the color of the sheet metal, but I hate the texture so much. I really do hate the sheet metal texture. So I don't know if I'm gonna swap this for more iron plates, or maybe like concrete or something. This is just green this is just green concrete here. So I'd have like all these lines going across the base and stuff. The next big update is that I want to talk about over here is the battery. As you can see, input's fine, output's okay. I had to do a bunch of the stuff here because the mechanism reactors and the SPS casing, the SPS thingamabobber, consumes a lot of power. Like when this is running, it's like 4.8 million RF per tick. And without sodium cooling, this one turbine, I didn't need 4 turbines, but I built 4 anyway, mostly for symmetry. Only produces like I don't know, it's like 2-ish. 2 million or so. I'm like 2 million in the hole when running it. About like that. Also, these flux plugs have like a max transfer limit, and I didn't realize about this until after I, added a bunch. But I don't really want to like, have to come in here and change all of these, so I don't know. I don't really mind about having to spam the fuck out of them. So if I have to change a few somewhere, it's fine. Also, this is kind of scuffed. The wiring, this whole area is pretty bad. I'm not a huge fan of it. But I plan to tear all this stuff down once I get enough antimatter anyway. One thing to note is I did this with a subnet, and I've never done a subnet before, but I remember Threefold's video how he did subnet for his platline. So I did the same thing here, and it works. It works great. So this just stores all the various polonium pellets. This stuff is from the main system, so it shows up in here. I did a subnet for this is because I use P2Ps, chemical P2Ps, to move the steam from these from the reactors to the turbine, and every time I add a block or add something to the AE network, the whole thing goes down and reboots. And with how large it is, it takes like a good 15 to 20 seconds to reboot, which means the steam is not being sent from these reactors to that turbine in that time, and that's bad. I do want to note that I did turn off nuclear meltdowns in this. I don't think they're fun, so I won't play with them. Eventually, I'm going to switch this to an orange subnet, but I didn't feel like it at the time because I kind of built the network and then swapped it to a subnet, so I have to redo a bunch of this stuff. Yeah, so this works. I set these to 64 millibuckets a tick worth of burn rate. In total, it's 16 each. Sorry. And this produces a decent amount of antimatter. It's going to take a while. One thing is the burn rate I calculated before was just for antimatter and not the amount of stuff required to actually produce the SPS casing, because the SPS casings are kind of expensive. It's 4 polonium and 1 plutonium for 1 casing, and you need 72 of these. because you need 3 for port. You need 12 for ports minimum. I have obviously a lot more, so I needed a lot more than that. Because the just a few coils in there, I had like 3 coils when I ran it, and I was backing up on polonium. I was producing polonium faster than I was turning it into antimatter, which I didn't expect. So I had to buff it up. I removed a few coils in there. There's 6 in there, but only like 4 of them are running. Because with 6, it's like 6.4 million RF per tick. And only 4 coils running is enough to transmute all of the antimatter, or all the polonium into antimatter. And I have 144 millibuckets at the moment. And I need more antimatter. One thing is I didn't realize this quest gives you 2 antimatter pellets. So probably the burn time is, I would imagine, probably around similar to what I calculated, because you get 2 free antimatter pellets. So that cuts down the need from 6 to 4. You have to produce 4 in total. So anyway, it's not going to be a problem. I don't expect that to be an issue at all, to be honest. Anyway, let's see. I'm looking for more changes that I remember. I don't know if I added lead by the time oh, what's this? Oh, that's just... I added some extra stuff here in case of, like, so it doesn't get clogged up and stack a bunch of items. So these things are, just like, overflow or miscellaneous items. And obviously there was a little bit of a weird thing going on here, but it's fine now. I added lead. One thing is I also max upgraded all of these drawers, so I think at maximum I have like 800,000 ingots or something like that. This one's already full, so that's a little bit terrifying. This one isn't, but it is very likely the bottleneck for all my iron dust. We can go over here and take a look. Also, I upgraded to the enriched basilic reagents, which it's not that the modifier is that much better, it's 2.5 instead of 2, but the use chance is, instead of 25, now 10%. So you use even less of them, which is nice. So it's definitely worth picking up. I highly recommend switching to basilic reagents for everything, if possible, because it makes everything better. Yeah, okay, that's done over there. I'm trying to think of any more updates. Oh, I've been... oops. This is just over here to farm withers. I've been farming withers by hand in here. My pin list is all the stuff that I have to do to automate them, because I do want to automate them, because you need a lot of them. So I don't want to do that by hand. I thought you needed only a couple. I thought I only needed a couple of singularities, which is why this isn't automated. I'm like, oh, I only need to craft 2. No, I need to craft a lot more than 2. So this will be automated eventually. Yeah, so that's pretty much it I think that's probably all the updates I have. I am happy about large portions of this build, namely the interior. The exterior I'm not too happy with. Also, I got around to removing this room. Also, if I sound stuffy, it's because I'm sick. Sorry. I guess. I don't know why I'm apologizing to you that I'm sick. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I removed this room, added a hallway, and built another room here. There's a bunch of other stuff I have to passive. I did Electrum on demand and wasn't going to passive it, because I'm like, oh, I only need 2,000 ingots for singularities. And then I found out, no, I need like 17,000 ingots, and that'll take a long time in on demand, even upgraded. So I'm just going to turn it to passive, and it'll be fine. I have a bunch of other things I have to passive, though I do have to say, like, the end is honestly in sight for this pack. I imagine, like, another week, maybe 2, if it's not done by spring break, which is at the end of the month for me, I will finish it over spring break at the latest, because I legitimately don't have that much stuff. Like, antimatter, I think, is one of the biggest bottlenecks, because once I have antimatter, I can start using that for ultimate chemical stuff. And once I get, ultimate chemical stuff, like, so much of the stuff goes away. Mech chem goes away for sulfuric acid, oxygen, hydrochloric acid, polonium, plutonium, antimatter, which will be the first thing I'll use for it, obviously. So dump a little bit of antimatter and get it, and then infinite antimatter. So that'll simplify a lot of stuff and hopefully save on some lag issues I've been having. Like the Forge TPS is, when I have stuff on demand, it spikes to like just below maximum, because I think if like tick time can hit like 50 milliseconds or so before you start having problems, and I've seen it spike up to like 42, 43. So hopefully that won't be a problem anymore once I start swapping over to some creative stuff. So yeah, like I've never built creative stuff in a survival world before, so like that'll be super exciting, and I'll probably do that. Like I'll probably record that while I do that, so you guys can enjoy that with me, because that'll be a big first for me. Uh, yeah, so I'm super excited about where this is going. This is my first attempt with P2Ps as well, and it went pretty well. When this is running, it works just fine. I'm gonna upgrade these reactors here to nitro. I pulled them up because I'm gonna upgrade them to nitro, and as you can see, I guess I can go ahead and put them down while I'm here. Because I'm, like I said, 2 million RF in the hole, and I need to find out more. I think as well, I could switch to sodium cooling, but I don't wanna. It's super complex, and I just don't feel like it. So instead I'm just gonna upgrade all these reactors to nitro anyway, and that will probably make up what I need. If not, I'm sure it'll be close enough where it'll be fine. So yeah, if you guys have any like suggestions on making this a little less monolithic, I would appreciate it. I'm not really sure where to go with this building. Um, I don't even know if honestly if I'm even gonna get around to it. Like it'd be something like I'd like to do, but I don't know if I'll get around to it because like once I've completed the pack, I'll probably just like wash my hands of it. Uh, As for what comes next after that, I don't really know. I usually like hyperfixate on a pack for like 2 months and then go play something else. I haven't played Stellaris in like forever, and that's something I love. So I'll probably go play that for like 2 months and then come back to Minecraft. We'll have to see. The next pack will not be an expert pack, probably. I don't really feel like I want to play an expert pack, but that's something to think about another time. Like, yeah. Oh, I guess I should go ahead and show what the interiors look like now, since I haven't shown that. Yeah, I've just, these, like, Engineer's Decor lights? Great. Love them. So, yeah, the interior's not too bad. I kind of like it. There's lots of building I have to do. Like, this wouldn't work if I put, like, grating everywhere. So I don't know if I'm actually ever going to put the gratings everywhere, like I do in some of the other rooms. Like, not this room. Like here, I don't know if I'm gonna put these catwalks, because then lighting is hard. So I don't know how much of base building is really gonna happen. I've kind of figured out that I'm not a huge fan of base building. Like I like it, but I also don't like it. Like when I want to play with machines, that's kind of what I want to do. So I want to make sure whenever I build, it has to be easily buildable with building gadgets. Something I can just slam together in like 5 minutes. Whether there'll be more planning next time, but yeah, I think I've kind of rambled long enough. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do a quick flyover now. But once I'm done with this pack, I'll have the final progress log, and then I'll probably do like a separate post-mortem. Talk about all the stuff I learned and all the stuff I, you know, didn't like versus liked. Stuff I want to do next time, stuff I don't want to do next time. I like the upper half of this monolithic thing. I'm not a huge fan of the bottom half. It's just, practicality makes it a cube. So I don't know if I'm gonna like change that, or if I'm just gonna like kind of accept it the way it is. Yeah. Okay. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching.